Hello everyone, here we are again with another character preview for a brand new hero in Rivengard. I've been spending the last week trying to cure myself from the flu to get like healthy in time to do this preview. Kinda worked out. I'm not 100% yet, but I would say I'm like healthy enough to try and break this hero down. It's quite an exciting hero. It is the first hero in a long time that kinda excites me. So let's take a quick look at that. This is the hero still unlocked. That's my live screen at the moment. Let's just quickly go to the hero overview and change this by faction, and then we can scroll back to the bottom. And now if we look at this, we are currently looking at 5 port. Before that there was the Hive. The first Hive hero that was released, actually we might even want to go further back than that, the Sacred Grove. Sacred Grove was kind of fair. I would say 4 out of 5 units in Sacred Grove were really good. Oaken Shrub is the odd one out, that is not great. And then the Hive was started with Snazbang, started with a bang in the most literal sense. And then everything after Snazbang has not had any impact on any game mode. Some people are playing Buzzy in Arena and they're saying Buzzy is cool, and I don't disagree. And Buzzy is pretty good in Tournament Arena, but that's kind of it. Like, we haven't seen a hero that was affecting guild rate, with the exception of Snazbang, in the last couple of months. Keep in mind, we have an average on a good month of 1 new unit per month. 1 new unit per month. Because you have 2 weeks festival and then you have 2 weeks off. And 4 weeks in total is roughly 1 month. So let's say Snazbang was the last hero that was affecting anything. Then we had 4 heroes after that, which means 4 months after that with heroes that didn't really affect anything. Then we had a repeat festival in between at some point. So another month happening nothing in terms of relevant guild mode, like guild rate mostly, game mode. And then we had Lucente, which didn't really do anything in most game modes. So another month wasted. We had Vittoria, which is great in Treasure Beach and not useful anywhere else. And then we now had, whatever, I don't even know the names, Contorta. And now we're finally seeing a hero after 8 months, 9 months, that might be doing something again. And that is the brand new hero, Freneric, which we can currently unlock in the festival. Like, almost a year of not relevant units with that is finally coming to a close with this unit. At least as far as I'm concerned. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that this unit has a lot of potential. It's kind of hard to tell in which game mode, but we're trying to break that down today. Alright, Freneric is a mage, has 2 movement, which kind of makes sense, because like having to carry around this thing, it's called a palanquin, I don't even know how to say this correctly, it's kind of hard. So these guys can only move 2 turns, or 2 fields per turn. This makes a lot of sense. Now he's got range 3. Which is interesting. Is he like sitting inside that thing with a sniper rifle or something? I don't know. But he's got range 3 and he is a mage. Now that is pretty good. And it becomes better because this unit has a brand new trait. It's called Sturdy. He takes 75% less damage from ranged units' normal attacks. So this does not affect special attacks, like an Empty the Net that Giggs was throwing or something like that. It's not affected by this, but a regular attack is affected by this. Keep in mind, units like Queen Akeshru can work around that. Queen Akeshru might be attacking from a distance, like a ranged unit, but the Shade is performing the attack and the Shade is doing a melee attack. Also, keep in mind that all effects in Rivengard stack. So if you were to hide this guy in a shrub, he would take 75% less damage and then 50% less damage. So if you're attacking this guy in Tournament Arena, where nobody has any real attack anyway, and he's hiding in a shrub, he's basically, so let's say you're doing 100%, you're doing 100 damage to him, which would be a lot in Tournament Arena, but let's just say it's 100. Then you would first have to reduce that by 75%. So that means 25% is basically coming through. So 25 damage is coming through. I could have done this in my head. And then those 25% would be further reduced by 50% if this unit is in a shrub. So if someone has 100 attack, which is a lot in Tournament Arena, 12 damage would come through. And as we all know in Tournament Arena, it's more likely that a unit has like 30 or 40 attack. So 40 attack against this unit would be like 5 damage if he's hiding in a shrub, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. This unit is pretty much unkillable from a distance. Hey Brun, hey Platzet, hey Buck, hey guys. Great that you guys are showing up. Alright, so very hard to kill just from the trade. You can expect this unit to have like super high stats, because all of the latest units have super high stats. This is like a thing we've seen in a while now. Even Lucente, for example, has very, very high stats. If this unit is like a legendary with a white star, he's got like crazier stats than any other mage. And it's going to be, I believe, somewhat similar for this brand new unit for Freneric. I don't have the screenshots to show you guys this, but I'm pretty confident, because this has been like a trend in the last couple of months for all the new heroes. Alright, so this is like the very basic stuff about this unit. It's hard to kill, alright? So let's just write this down. Hard to kill is basically what we need. Also, it has range 3, which is very relevant in most game modes. Like being able to attack from a distance is a pretty good thing. Now, let's look at the active effect. It is called Let Them Eat Gold, which is a wordplay. In case me as a man of culture always, obviously know this. Let Them Eat Cake is a reference to Marie Antoinette. I did not look this up. I know this. For those out there who have not had the blessing of having a half French history teacher, which is actually true, this was in medieval France. Marie Antoinette was the queen at the time, as far as I remember. And this was French aristocrats doing French aristocrat things, which is hiding in castles, pooping in corners, using a lot of perfume to make sure that it doesn't smell that bad. And the aristocrats were taking like a lot of money from the poor people. Some things never change. And the common folk, so to speak, was starving. They did not have anything to eat. And then, when confronted with this knowledge, the queen was sitting in her castle, and one of her advisors was basically, oh, the poor folk, they don't have anything to eat. And at the time it was kind of normal. You had like the regular food, which was bread. Some things never change. And then you had the nicer food, which was cake, mostly reserved to the rich people. And her response to that was let them eat cake when she heard that the bread was running out, because she didn't have the grasp of the concept that these things are like ending. There is no infinite cake, because she had infinite cake. There is not infinite bread, because for her this was not her reality, which goes to show us that sometimes your reality is not everybody else's reality. And when people got word of this is basically how the French Revolution was started. I think this part is not correct. This part I'm just making up. But it should have been the start to the French Revolution. When somebody tells you, hey man, you're starving, why don't you eat some more cake? You should start a revolution. Here, you heard it here first. Alright, anyway, enough of the history lesson. So, the idea is that Doge Freneric throws a sack of gold out of the palanquin. Now the palanquin, let's go back, is this thing in the middle. This, where he's hiding, this thing is called a palanquin. I've never heard this word before. Okay, so he throws this out of his little carriage where people are carrying him. For each of your turns that has started after the first, okay, we can ignore this part. Basically this says, the more turns have passed, the more gold he throws out. This is old news. Let's quickly go to the official Discord for that, where Kyle has confirmed this. So this is the way that the ability is working at the moment. For every turn that is passing, he's throwing more gold bags. This is not going to be how this unit is going to be working in the future. Okay? In the future, it is depending on how rare the unit is, so to speak. So, if he's a common unit, he's gonna throw 2 bags. And then if 500 turns have passed and he's a common unit, he will throw 2 bags. Okay, nothing changes, ever. It doesn't matter how much time is passing. However, if he's a legendary unit, and he can make it to level 50, in turn 1, on the very first turn, he will be throwing 7 bags of gold. And after 500 turns, it will still be 7 bags of gold. So this unit will get changed in the similar way that we have seen Katsume get changed and Areus get changed. Now, if you don't know, let's quickly go back. Here we go. So Katsume her arrow does jumps, and at the moment for level 34 it's 12 jumps. And I believe if she's above 35, it's 14 jumps. Don't quote me on that. I don't have a legendary Katsume, and I wonder why anybody has. But that is not the topic. So the more rare Katsume is, the higher her rarity is, the more jumps the cursed arrow is doing. And in a similar vein, where is he? Need to go all the way to the top. Areus. He has an active effect that is affecting up to 4 adjacent units. And this is him being epic. If your Areus is not epic, I think he only hits 3, and if he's uncommon, probably only 2 adjacent units. So he gets more powerful the more rare he is, the higher his rarity is. Alright? So this is basically how this new unit, Doge Freneric, is going to work in the future. The higher the rarity, the more bags he's going to throw. And this is great news, because this means that this unit doesn't have to sit on the sidelines for 5 turns. To do something. He can be relevant starting turn 1, yeah, if rarity is high. But what else is new? Okay, we have heard this before. This is also a great way to balance this unit, because in tournament arena he's not going to be like immediately turning everything around on his own, because he's only throwing 3 bags of gold, I believe, in tournament arena. Okay, so he's throwing gold bags. Okay. Any enemy summon that will get hit by it, or rather, if you hit an enemy unit that is not a summon, you deal 11 damage. This is on par with most other effects. Apologies. So he's basically got an AoE effect. He can throw up to 7 bags of gold and then hit a bunch of enemies and they all take some damage. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. However, there's more. And that is the fact that if he hits an enemy summon, they will not get hit and take damage. They will instead defect. Now, defect is a very complicated English word. It means switch sides. And that is why they also spelled this out immediately afterwards. What? Defect and switch sides is the same thing, but they put just both explanations there. Thanks. So that means that the summon is now working for you. It is no longer working for the enemy, it is now working for you. This is very exciting. It's very exciting. We will see this in some of my preview videos. So an enemy summon will also spend its turn moving towards the nearest sack of gold. This is also relevant. So even if you cannot immediately hit an enemy summon, you can place the sack of gold somewhere on the map where you think it makes sense, and then the enemy summon will not like come to you and try and hit you guys. It will instead walk towards the gold, pick up the gold, and then it will work for you. So this is very interesting. Yeah. All other units ending their move on a sack of gold get a stat increase and deal +6 damage. Alright. This is also relevant because it's basically similar, somewhat similar to Static Crackle. You can buff your own units with the sack of golds. Alright. And that's pretty much the active. I know this is a lot, and we will break it down. And I believe it makes the most sense to take a look at the first video we got to try and break this down a little bit further. Okay, this is not the right one. This is the right one. This is just the active ability. I can keep the music running because these videos all don't have any sound. So what happened here? This is an arena fight. We see an enemy Gix. This is an enemy Gix that has already used his active. Apologies, I'm not 100% yet. This is Doge Freneric. This is the new unit being carried by his 2 porters. And these are our units. So we have Gix, we have Akio, Snazbang, and Maivara. And these are all enemy frogs, or at least most of them are enemy frogs. So now they evolve and they hit us and they hit us and they hit us some more, and all of our units are about to die. Snazbang somehow still alive. And now look at Doge Freneric. He's now using Let Them Eat Gold. And let's quickly go back here. This was Gix. And here's Doge. Yeah. Look at Gix. Gix is taking 27 damage. So this is a very low-leveled ability. Gix is taking some damage. And we are also affecting these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 enemy summons. Okay, these enemy summons are being hit by bags of gold. And now look what happens. They immediately take a turn and they work for us. So these guys are now grayed out. This guy is still there. He's an enemy. This guy is an enemy. But these other guys are not our... They are our friends now, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now we're shooting this guy with Snazbang. Okay. And if you take a look, Archeo could now obviously use his kill command to make them turn and kill Gix, which is kind of relevant. Pretty relevant in Arena, as far as I'm concerned. So you can make them fight for you, and then on your turn, still on your same turn, you can use Archeo, and also like send them to the next life. Because they would fight for you, they hit the enemy, probably take him out, and then they will die because of Archeo's effect at the end of the turn. So this is the idea. And now they are enemies again. So if you do not get rid of them right away, you're gonna have a problem. What else is new? Yeah, so it's not a good idea to have summons on the board. Also, this is interesting. Here we have Doge. He's got 63 attack at the moment. Here's the bag of gold. And after he picks up the bag of gold, he went from 63 to 93. We can see he added another 30 attack thanks to the Promise of Riches. Also, we see all the other things that I told you guys. He's got 2 movement, 3 attack. Alright. So this is basically the active. The active can make enemy summons work for you. I believe that the biggest problem with this unit at the moment is that these enemy units immediately switch sides again. Now, this is not going to change. Yeah, there's nothing in the patch notes or in the announcement by Kyle that this is eventually going to change and that these units are going to be fighting longer for you. This is something that I will try my absolute hardest to talk Snowprint into. I believe that enemy summons should be working for you for several turns. And I don't see the problem with that at all. I know this is not the main topic today, obviously. We're trying to take a look at this unit. But I'm just trying to give you my point of view. There are units in this game that are dedicated to shut down certain strategies. If you're playing a Servatus, he will shut down on his own melee strategies. If you're playing Scruffy or Bullmon, you can punish the enemy for only relying on summons. Less so with Bullmon than with Scruffy. But you've all been there. You've all fought a Scruffy in Arena and you were like, oh my god, my summons are doing absolutely nothing. I don't see why there shouldn't be a unit that is not just like punishing your opponent a little bit, but actually like really turning it around. That's just me. Don't know. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, this unit should be even stronger and the summons should be working for you longer. All right. So let's quickly write down best arena defense team. This guy and red tanks. Very high chance. Yes. This guy is definitely really good on defense. Definitely better than Katsuma, but then again, who isn't? So relevant starting turn 1 can turn enemy summons. It can also, I'm gonna say, distract enemy summons. This is kind of important. Like, the enemy summons are no longer walking towards you to try and attack you. They are walking towards the gold pile. So even if the summons are not immediately doing what you want them to do, take out all the enemies, all of that good stuff, like making them walk in a different direction sometimes might be a really clear advantage, because you can deal with all the enemies and then the summons are eventually coming your way, but you can then hopefully deal with them. Like, just imagine it's an army of shades and you can turn half of them and then there's like 1 or 2 more bags of gold lying around and the shades are trying to pick up the pieces instead of attacking your guys. This is going to be very relevant because, as we all know, shades are not around forever. They burn in sunlight, so they can very quickly die. So I'm sorry. Guys, I could not record anything 2 days ago. I'm happy that I can speak in the first place. Sorry for the coughing. All right, that's the active effect. All right. There's more to this unit. and we got a couple more videos. So let's look at this. This is the second video. This is called, by the way, the first video was by Mubong. Thanks so much. He's already unlocked the unit because he was saving up a lot of energy. This video is by MasterSilverhand. I always think that this looks like a graphical bug, but no, this is the actual way that this unit looks from the top, which is kind of hilarious. So this time, we are fighting an arena fight. We are shooting some enemies. We're taking out some enemies with regular attacks. And here's a Pilator. Here's an Accio. And here's Doge. And now we're just not really doing anything. We're just waiting. And we see the enemy Siad giving us, or giving himself, but we're going to change that in a second, snakes. Now we're throwing the bags of gold. Here again, Siad is taking a lot of damage this time around. It's 650 roughly. Quite good. And then these two snakes, this snake and this snake, they get turned by our generosity. So this snake is immediately moving. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming that because we hit Siad, a snake was spawned, and then the snake was picking up the gold, and then it immediately runs away. So we are in fact hitting 3 snakes, because these two guys have already been around, and then there's another snake that was spawned because we hit Siad, and now this snake is immediately turned, and it does us a favor and takes out Harun. Then the second snake is attacking Siad, and now we can do magical things here with Pilator, and the snakes that were working for us. Oh, this is the new snake. Okay, this is the new snake. Okay, sorry guys. This is the new snake. It spawned in the same spot that this snake was leaving. I don't understand how that makes any sense. But then again, timing of effects in this game has always been a bit confusing, to say the least. So this is the new snake that spawned by Siad. And after we blow the horn of Pilator, this snake is now working for us. And it is running to the other side and taking out this snake. And this snake is also affected magically because this Pilator apparently has a really big trumpet. And it was now attacking Yasmin. Afterwards, we're using Accio. And thanks to Accio, the last snake was now attacking one more time. And that means that Yasmin is going down. After that, the snakes are dying because of the effect of Accio. And that means that we win the round. So, if you're running out of gas for some reason in Arena, this guy could really give you a second wind and a third wind if you combine him with Accio. So really good effect as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's also the active effect is a weak-ish AoE effect. Let's not forget about that. This can sometimes be relevant. Like if there's a bunch of eggs on the floor, for example, you can take out all the eggs with the active. Just throw gold bags over the eggs. It works. I've tried it. Alright. That's it for the active for the most part. And obviously the biggest question that everybody has on their mind, everybody that has been playing Rivengard for a little bit longer, how does this fare against the dragon and against the dragonlings? And that's a very fair question. It's the thing that I am most excited about as well. Everybody's most excited about this, I believe. And we will see this in this video. Again, courtesy of MasterSilverhand. Thank you so much. So here we have the fire dragon. This is the last. Yeah, we can see the dragon has 2.5 million health. So this is the legendary 3 fire dragon, the last boss in the summer season. There's 4 seasons of guild raiding, in case you didn't know. Okay, we're just having the summons come to us. And then after they went a little bit closer to us, we are now throwing the bags of coin. This is a legendary Doge Freneric, so he's gonna throw 7 bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that turns the dragonlings. This guy is now not attacking the other dragonling, because they are all friends. Freneric against Nixie will produce a money tree. Thank you. So, all of these dragonlings are now fighting for us. And they are moving down to attack the dragon. They have turned against the dragon. This means that Giggs can now attack the dragon. Because he's not surrounded by enemies, he's surrounded by friendly units. Which is kind of funny. Like, you've never seen dragonlings like moved your way and you're feeling like, whew, this is fine. No, this is actually fine in this particular case because these dragonlings are now working for us. So, we can now move in with Pilator. Master Silverhand is really trying to sell the idea of Pelator as a unit. This is like a magical future build of this game, where we might see Pelator be like a real unit, which means that he's got range 3 now. Okay, and Pelator hit, and that means the Dragonlings were now attacking the dragon. Okay, after that, we're throwing with Giggs. Now Giggs is not like Snazbang. He doesn't do friendly fire, or he does do friendly fire. He hits your own guys as well, is what I'm trying to say. So these guys are now half dead. They're still working fast, and now they're not. So now they are bad summons anymore. Again, not anymore. And that means we have to deal with them, unfortunately. Again, this unit would be a heck of a lot better if it was turning these guys for several turns. But that's the way it is at the moment. His Freneric, he was being buffed by Yasmin. Yes. And this is a White Star Freneric. He has got 4,500 life. That is a lot. That is a lot. He's got 2,500 armor. That is also a lot. If you want to see, we can compare this. I don't have any White Star heroes because I don't believe in White Stars. But like the strongest heroes that I have 4,400 health and 2,200 armor. Yes, it's gonna be more if we add 2 more stars for Servidus, but he's roughly in the same ballpark as Freneric. And also Servidus is really high when it comes to health and armor. If we compare this, like Penda for example, he's only got 3-5 and he's got 5 purple stars and 1-5. So both the health and the armor, also Ranaklu, very durable unit. Obviously with Terrifying, he's got a trait that he takes less melee damage. This is basically the melee version of Ranaklu, if you want Freneric, because he's got like that much health and he's got that much armor. And then on top of that, he's gonna be buffed, I would say twice at this point, and he's got 1,750 attack. Now, a Yasmin at level 50, I can tell you this, is giving you, 657 damage. Okay, 657. I hope he was only buffed once, because that would mean, I guess he cannot have that little attack. So that he should have around 1,100 attack at level 50, which makes sense. He's not a very offensive unit. Double meaning. He's more like a defensive unit. He's like a very sturdy unit with the trade-off, obviously, as well. But he's like a unit that can take a lot of abuse, a lot of damage, and not dish out that much damage. 1,100 attack is more on the lower end of the spectrum. That's something that, again, Servidus has. He's got 1,000 at the moment. Penta, one of the most powerful mages in the game, if not the most powerful mage in the game, together with Lucente, if I'm not mistaken. It's got 1,700. And then even Ranaklu, very powerful mage, has 1,200. Kunakeshu, one of the best units in the game, has 1,100. So around 1,100 is a regular stat. A lot of units at Diamond Rank 3 have around 1,100. Obviously, there's a couple of units that do just like a lot more damage. We've just seen them, Snazbang, Nimrul, but mostly because of their kit, because of their the fact that they're carrying 2 weapons, for example, or that they do more damage when they crit, or that they crit very easily just by moving next to an enemy. So those are very offensive units that can dish out a lot of damage on attack. Freneric is not that unit. Also, speaking of equipments and what units are carrying, we cannot see that here, but I've seen a screenshot of Mubong. Let me quickly try and find this for you guys. This is somewhere here. Here we go. Oh no, sorry, this is Contorta. I don't know where I can find this on our Discord, which is not a good note. Actually, I think in Heroes. No, I can't find it right now. But I have seen this earlier. Freneric is actually not carrying a weapon. So he's carrying an armor, which means he has more health and more armor. And on top of that, I think he's also carrying a shield. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I believe he's definitely not carrying a weapon. So he's not doing any crit damage, but he's able to take like a whole lot of abuse. All right, let's watch this clip. So, he's doing 4,500 because he's got high ground. And does light... Oh yes, light has color advantage against fire. I keep forgetting this. Okay, this is super relevant, which we've seen here. And that is the fact that these gold piles that are, or gold bags that are still lying around, they are now causing the dragon to jump there. Okay? So that means you can also use this gold, just like the Nixie flowers or Snazbang bombs, if you are somehow finding a way to get Snazbang bombs into a dragon nest, you can use them to make the dragon jump there. So this is also relevant. Also the dragon now gets more powerful, I guess, which is not exactly good news. Okay, our units are dealing with the X at the bottom. I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit. So X have been dealt with, and the dragon is basically coming back down. We have done some damage to the dragon. Again, Freneric can attack from here because he's got 3 movement, 3 range. Then he's hitting again from here. We're hitting with kicks. Also, by the way, what is Yasmin doing in this team? And then Pelato is hitting, Yasmin is hitting for 2,100. And look at this. Now this is super relevant again. So, the dragonlings hatch. They take their turn. They jump on the gold pile. And now they are immediately taking a turn again, basically. They are not moving. Or they're not taking a turn. They are attacking now. And they are attacking the nearest enemy, which in this case is this dragonling. So this is why this dragonling, after picking up the gold pile, still lying there for some reason, attacks the dragonling. And then after that, we see this dragonling jump there. And now he's switching sides. And then after that, the last dragonling, it's this one, is jumping here. And he's now attacking the nearest enemy. And this is the dragonling. This is very confusing. So this guy and this guy are fighting for us because they picked up gold. And this guy is now attacking this guy because he's an enemy. And he can kill it. So we basically got rid of one dragonling without even doing anything, which is kind of neat. And then after that, on the following turn after the breath here, we can see they're basically becoming colorful again, which means they can take a turn again. They are right now fighting for the enemy again. Okay. So all of that was the active. Let's finally also take a look at the passive. The passive is called Palanquin, which is the thing that he's riding in, basically. When he is defeated, the Palanquin is destroyed with him in it, so he's gone. And instead he's leaving behind his porters. This is the guy that are carrying him around. 2 of them. One will spawn in the tile previously occupied by the unit, and the other will spawn in the free adjacent tile. And these porters, as all effects in this game, they obviously become absolutely bonkers crazy good once you get to level 50. So that means this guy's hard to kill, and when you kill him, you now have to kill 2 more guys. This is super relevant. This is the best defensive unit in this game. This is more annoying than Bassi. Bassi you kill, Bassi jumps out somewhere, and then you can very easily kill him again, most of the time. This guy is harder to kill than Bassi, because he's got his sturdy trait, where you can attack him from a distance, you have to get close. And then after you killed him, suddenly porters on the field, and they will have like relatively decent stats, and you have to kill them again. So this guy, again, really, really good on defense. These guys are summons, so it would be very interesting to have a mirror match between these 2 guys, because you could then turn the summons with the bags of gold. Alright, we will see these porters in the last video that we have. This is another guild raid fight. Obviously, Master Silverhand and everybody in the ambassadors was completely obsessed with the idea of turning dragonlings to our cause, so they are fighting for us instead of fighting for the enemy. So here we're baiting the dragon to the bottom left. Accio was used to make the dragon jump here, and now these dragonlings are jumping onto the gold piles and they switch sides. So now they are fighting for us, all 3 of them. It's also kind of funny because the first guy attacked the dragon, and then he's attacking another dragonling, and this deals damage to the dragon. Okay, now we're using the Giggs bomb to give us a couple more summons, and then Queen Akesho is giving us yet another summon. So here we have 1, 2, 3 breath targets. The dragon is very likely jumping down here, because then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 breath targets. So the dragon is hitting, And you can see that this guy can block. He can block. So he is carrying a shield and or a trinket. Very likely a shield and a trinket. So he can actually block damage. So this guy is standing in thorns. He's getting dragon breathed away. This is a legendary 3 dragon because he's got 2.5 million damage health. So this is the most powerful dragon there is. And even though this guy is standing in thorns, he's not dying. I mean, yes, because he blocked. But still, most units would be dead immediately. Also, the dragon has color advantage. Yes, because dark has color advantage against light and vice versa. So this guy survives a dragon breath if he gets lucky with a block. Despite standing in thorns. Alright, so now we can attack the dragon for a little bit. This is, I believe, not super relevant. Yeah, we're just hitting. And Freneric can now move to the shrub. Yep. And then attack from a distance. So he's attacking this guy. Actually, it's kind of weird that there's no animation or anything. Here, he's just bending, moving, and then suddenly magically guys take damage. Okay, this is attack animation. Now he gets hit, blocks, and then he gets hit again. And now we see the passive jump in. So where the palanquin was, the thing that was carried around, we see now one of the porters, and then the other porter is moving to the other side. So we now have 2 units instead. Maybe we can see their stats. I don't believe so, but we can see how much damage they're doing. Here he is with high ground. And with high ground he's doing 2,300 damage, which is obviously a lot. Not quite killing the dragonling. The other one is doing 700. Okay, so regular attack, I mean it's killing it. So they are probably having something like 1,000 attack. Yeah, that makes sense. Because from high ground they're doing 2,300, that is 1.5. So if we're doing, let's say we're doing 2,400 and we divide it by 1.5. Yeah, they should have around 1,600 attack. Yeah, they should have around 1,600 attack or 1,500, depends. There's a 20% modifier in the game. So 1,500 attack roughly. And with high ground, obviously that is a lot more. And then this guy can just immediately take out a dragonling. So these guys are kind of relevant. Here we are. Okay, 900 attack. How did he do that much? Oh, color advantage. Color advantage. Yeah, these are warriors. They have color and class advantage. So they are on par with shades. Let me bring this up quickly. A shade has 1,410 health. Yep, so they have the same health. This is also the same. I don't know if anybody knows this or needs to know this. The active of Grandma Bones at level 50 is doing 1,410. This is like the magic number in this game apparently. So the lifesteal at level 50 is doing as much damage as the health of a shade. They also have 1,410. They do 1317. The porters only do 939. I believe this is the attack of a frog. Let's quickly go back. This is not a frog unit. Here's a frog unit. They have, yes, the frogs do 939. Okay, so they have a mix of a shade and a frog. They have the health of a shade and they have the damage of a frog. And they're warriors and they're light. They got 3 movement and one reach or range. Alright, so this is basically the rest of the guild raid fight. I don't think there's much else happening here. We can attack with Accio, or we could use Accio's effect to have the summons attack, which would make a lot of sense here. Yep, I think that's what we're going to see. We're getting rid of, unfortunately, we're getting rid of 1 shade, but that's okay. And then we're using the active, and here we can see these guys are also summoned, so they can also get affected by the effect of Accio. So they would come around with their 939 attack plus 1,881, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And that's it. So they're doing 3,200. Is that correct? Let me just quickly double check this. Sorry, guys. Oops. Yes, 1881. So we're doing 1881 plus 939 is 2,820. 2,820, and then we get lucky with the 20% modifier apparently, and we're doing 3,200 against the dragon. Okay, and then the other guy is attacking, and he's doing 2,300 because he doesn't get that lucky with the with the 20% modifier. So he's on the lower end of the spectrum. All right. Hey Keith, hello. And that's basically it. That is basically it. I never changed this. So let's basically wrap this up. This is the passive effect. So the passive effect means that this unit has to get killed 3 times. So this is relevant in a lot of game modes. Like anything where you go mano a mano, which means hand against hand, not man versus man. I'm a man of culture again. This means that you have to actually use 3 attacks to once and for all get rid of Freneric. This gets harder due to the fact that he's got the sturdy trait. So ranged attackers are not as good against him. Then this is not confirmed. Or maybe we can see this in the video. Let's quickly go back to the video. Because we did see the unit for a second. Here we go. Okay. They don't have any traits. They just have the summon trait and that's it. Now, there has been a debate that these guys get another trait, which would make them even harder to kill. I'm not sure if this is still coming, or if the symbol is missing or whatever. But they are actually inspired by a unit that is present in Tacticus, from what I know. And in Tacticus, these units have another trait that makes them even harder to kill. It's similar to the Tanamo effect, where you cannot reduce their health below a certain point with the first attack. And then after they are below 50%, they take regular damage and they cannot get healed back up to 50%. So you cannot like cause an endless loop. It doesn't look like this has made it into the game, but this was one of the original ideas. This has never been confirmed. This is just something that I picked up between the chatter on the Ambassador Discord. Doesn't seem like it made it into the game. I'm going to clarify this for you guys, but generally speaking, I would not expect this unit to, or these units, the porters, to have any more effects. All right. 939 is only for a tadpole on a frog. That's a good point. Yes. A not yet frog. Almost frog. Hello, hey Vahin. Okay, so passive means that this unit has to get killed 3 times. Is relevant. Stats are health of shades plus attack of tadpoles, at least at level 50. So these units are pretty relevant. They have more health than a tadpole. That's it. That's the positives. They don't have. Yeah, they have more health than a tadpole at level 1. So a tadpole can hit them and they don't die, which is good. They are light warriors, which means that they are doing more damage against dark and fire rogues. So that means anything that is... Let's go back. Let's try and go back. Anything that is... a dark rogue, for example a Nimrul, or a fire rogue, for example a Snazbang, takes more damage against these guys. So Monty nobody plays, so we can kind of ignore that. Sunshine nobody plays, so we can kind of ignore that. Salvo nobody plays. Okay, so also still not super relevant. However, Katsume sometimes sees some play in Tournament Arena. Snazbang obviously gets a lot of play. We do see Maivara every once in a blue moon in Tournament Arena, and obviously Nimrul is a very popular unit, a unit that you see like relatively often. So Snazbang, Nimrul are the two odd ones out, or the 2 obvious choices here, the usual suspects, where these guys are really shining. Now obviously they are kind of vanilla characters. They don't have any special effects, a part of decent stats, so a Nimrul would not be like super troubled by them. At level 50, or rather diamond ranks, Nimrul has 2700 health. So even if they do 939 and then they get 1.5 multiplier because they are light warriors, they would only do around 1500 damage to Nimrul. If both of them are able to hit Nimrul, he would be dead because he cannot block. If only one of them was around or able to connect with Nimrul, they could actually take out Nimrul, which is kind of interesting. So there is a situation, I don't know, if you use all your actives and the enemy has used most of his actives, and then it's like a fight till the end, and there's like next to nothing standing, and the opponent only has a Nimrod or a Snaspang, and then they go in and attack, and they take out Doge Freneric, and then his summons would very likely win you the game, both against Nimrod and against Snaspang. Or at least there's a realistic chance that this is going to happen. So this is kind of interesting. All right. I'm kind of sad that they don't have even more health, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, 1410 is pretty good, and it's gonna be annoying to take them out, but I wouldn't mind if these guys had like 2000 health or something like that, so they are even harder to kill. Because this unit on offense is not great. This unit is all about defense, and it would have made a lot more sense to me if it is even harder to kill. All right, but that's kind of it. That is kind of it. I don't think there's anything else we can talk about regarding this unit. There's really nothing else I have to say. I also don't have any more footage. So certainly an interesting unit. The biggest drawback is the fact that when you turn the Dragonlings, we can see this here again. Let's go back. Here it is. Here's the gold bags. The Dragonlings are spawning. Then they're immediately switching sides, and they're working for us. Bam, bam. And then the third one is also switching sides. He's not attacking this guy because they're now in the same team, in our team. So that's good news. And now they are fighting for us. You could use Accio here. The first guy could connect, the second guy could connect, the third guy could barely still connect. And then you would have like made the Dragonlings fight for you, do a lot of damage. They have very high attack, generally speaking, the Dragonlings, at least the legendary 3 Dragonlings. However, they are rogues, and the dragon is a warrior. So the Dragonlings are doing less damage against the dragon. So it's not like, oh my god, this is going to be the winning formula. I'm doing so much damage against the dragon in the future. You won't be. You won't be doing that much damage against the dragon, because these guys do not have class advantage against the dragon. And for that reason, it's not a strategy where I'm like, yeah, this is a cute strategy. Certainly a very cute strategy. It is not a game-winning strategy, at least not at the moment, unless the gold pile effect lasts for several turns, and these guys are not immediately reverting back to the opposing side, and they are fighting for us for the rest of the fight. That would make a big difference, and this unit would suddenly be like a lot more powerful. Alright, that's it. I don't have anything else. Also, my voice is starting to give out. Hope this was insightful for you guys, and you can now make sense of this unit. There is a lot happening. I'm actually trying to unlock this at a higher rarity than Epic. There's only one more rarity above Epic. I'm not sure if I have enough to get through. Let me just quickly see. I used the I used this earlier. The power level up. This was today, and now I'm at level 29. In terms of the game is, as far as the game is concerned, I'm now power level 29. Every time you go up in a power level, you can do this, and you get like a summoning token, which is kind of nice. And obviously the most relevant part here is the 100 energy. I can do this a few more times, because at the moment I'm not power level 29. I'm actually 39. So I have 10 more free refreshes of energy that I'm going to use over the course of this festival, to try and speed up my progress and see how far I can go with this unit. Gonna be very exciting. I don't know if this is gonna be enough for legendary. It's like 1 extra refresh for most days, not every day, but most days. Let's see how far I can go. Alright, that's really it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry I cannot do anything else. We cannot play Onslaught or something because I have a headache that is killing me. Hope this was cool, and I see you guys very soon. Speaking of very soon, in the next stream, we're going to be breaking down Onslaught, the brand new levels in Onslaught, like in 2 days or something like that. Tomorrow or in 2 days, something like that, in the evening. At some point, I'm going to be playing Onslaught. It's going to be working the same way as it worked the last couple of times, which means after every round of Onslaught, we're going to be giving away 10 summoning tokens. And one of you can win. Speaking of summoning tokens, we're also doing this for this video, obviously. I guess I should have done this like a while ago. But that's okay. I'm sick. I got excuses. So do me a favor, write something in the chat, and you're going to be participating in our, or rather do it below the video. Let's do it below the video because this was very short notice. Just leave a comment below the video, and tomorrow I'm going to be taking my time and picking a winner. Let us know what you believe, what do you think about Freneric? Do you think this is an exciting unit or not? Or what do you like the most about this unit? Personally, I think it's quite interesting that this guy is super hard to kill. And I'm going to be super interested to see this guy, especially in Tournament Arena. I think in Tournament Arena this can be a very, very good unit. Thanks, yes, I've been trying to get well the entire week and it kind of worked out. Alright, so this is where we're ending the video. Once we ended the video, you will have to reload the page to be able to leave a comment below the video, alright? So I'm not going to show you the end screen for like 10 seconds or something, then you can leave a comment and you're going to be eligible for the prize drawing. See you guys very, very soon. I like his first name, Doge. Me too, yeah. And then I see you guys very, very soon again. Take care.